Hi, my name's Yasmin, and this is Life's Hard. What's next?
I'm Matt, and in this podcast, we want to talk about hard things and how we try to deal with them.
A disclaimer, we know that we're privileged and we know that we're very lucky to live the lives that we live. But even still, life gets hard, and like many things in life, it's easier when we talk about it. So that's the goal of our podcast.
So this week, we've woken up to a few cold days. I think the coldest has been here for a long, long time, which was minus 4.5.
Hmm.
So, as you can assume, it's probably winter.
Mm-hmm.
We,
July.
yeah, we don't even have the fun stuff with winter,
Mm.
We don't even get snow.
No.
It's not even Christmas or anything.
No. I remember seeing a meme once that was like the Northern Hemisphere gets winter and Christmas. What does the Southern Hemisphere get? And it was like we get winter and the cold and we get seasonal depression because we don't have Christmas time.
We don't have all the stuff to release the endorphins.
Yeah, and like force you outside of the house and to like interact with other human beings and like the festive spirit, even though obviously the holidays can be hard in their own different ways, and not always happy time for people. But yeah, winter is just 3 to 4 months, of very short days, and depending on where you live in New Zealand, but certainly where we live, very, very cold at some point.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
definitely.
And it gets people down. So that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump straight into it with a few stats for you. So, seasonal affective disorder, which is also pretty much shorthand for seasonal depression,
Mm.
has a fun little acronym. Do you want to guess what it is?
What?
SAD, so sad.
Mm.
Um, 5% of adults apparently suffer from SAD,
Mm-hmm.
and that's between the ages of 18 to 30.
Mm.
And 10 to 20% suffer from seasonal blues.
Mm.
So from the research, the seasonal blues is just feeling a bit down because of the weather, kind of
Mhm.
like how we talked about last episode. Kind of, you're just feeling a bit down because it's a bit dark.
Mm.
Not as much fun things is going on.
Mhm.
Where seasonal depression is more the full-on symptoms of depression, so weight gain, constantly just wanting to sleep, losing enjoyment out of all things that you used to find enjoyable.
Mhm. 100%. I definitely think that I would fall under the category of having winter blues. I'm an optometrist, so I spend essentially the majority of my day inside a small dark room, with the lights off a lot of the time.
No windows.
No windows. You can't test a room. You can't test eyes, sorry, in a room with a window in it. Well, not really. I've worked in one place where the optometrist room had a window, and yeah, we had to have like blackout curtains on top of it, and even then, it wasn't ideal. Like, it's not. You don't want light
No,
in
no,
an
no, no.
optometry room. And I definitely find in winter when I leave for work and it's daylight, but you don't get a whole lot of time before work and it's daylight.
The
And if
sun's still rising, essentially.
yeah, and like when I had a big commute, which there was, a few years of my time when I was an optometrist where I was commuting a good hour each way. So, you'd be driving to the work as the sun's rising, and then you'd often leave at night or as the sun's already set. And it gets a bit miserable.
Yeah, it just brings you down a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Yep.
worst thing for me around that is daylight savings. It just throws me right off. Bad with my sleep, so.
As we talked about in the last
Yeah,
episode, yeah.
yeah.
So it kind of messes things up for you even more.
So the whole winter blues thing and, seasonal depression is definitely something. Definitely
Mm,
real.
yeah, 100%. I think I only realized it was a big thing for me a couple of years ago because I feel like I get a bit of amnesia with winter. It's hard, it's long, it's dreary, and then the next year comes around and I kind of forget how hard it was the previous year. So it almost like would shock me every year how hard it was until I actually sat down and really thought about it and really realized that actually, yeah, winter is consistently hard for me.
Oh, it's just rough. It's just a poor time, especially when the weather's poor.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
Go
What
for it.
are your favorite seasons?
Funny, I was about to ask the same thing.
I
Just an FYI, we just wing a lot of this,
was gonna
so
say none of this is scripted. We're like, we're gonna talk about something and we just kind of go for it. I mean, sometimes we have a few questions written down for each other. Like the last two episodes, we semi-interviewed each other. That's what we were trying to do. So we did have some questions written down, but yeah, we don't plan this really, except for Googling the stats. And we basically don't edit it much at all. We leave it as uncut as possible, mainly because we're lazy.
Yeah, we have other
Yeah,
things on in life as well, eh? So
100%. Very busy.
and our
Very
dogs are pain. So
busy. Yes.
yes, lots of fun. Yeah, so I'd say that my favorite season's probably spring. Being from a farm, there's all the baby cows
Mm,
around, all
they're pretty
the
cute.
all the baby animals all together.
Daffodils.
Great time for my propagations as well. You know, just works out so well. The plants.
Few plants. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
It would be a hard call between autumn and spring, but I'd say autumn would win slightly for me because I like the winter, the autumn leaves. They're very pretty, um, which is part of why we got married in autumn. But
All
I
the
do,
rustic colours.
yeah, I like the oranges and the reds and stuff. But I think part of the reason I like autumn and spring as well is because the temperature is more mild.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, summer is uncomfortably hot, and sure, it's nice, but like, unless you have access to a pool all the time or live near the ocean, it's actually quite uncomfortable. Like last year when we went to New York, we spent a month in New York in August, and it was so uncomfortable being in the middle of a city when it's like 30 degrees, and then you go down to the subway and it's even warmer
And
and
another
humid.
5 degrees on top of that.
Yeah. So it's not nice. Whereas if you live near the ocean, it would be quite cool. And then yeah, winter just gets a bit too short and too long and dark.
Or you had your own personal pool.
Yeah, if either of those things would be true, summer probably would be pretty cool. But even still, I think I'd get sick of the hot weather and like how uncomfortable it is, and it can be hard to sleep at night too.
At least winter, you can sort of wrap yourself back up if you get cold, right?
Yeah, you can put more layers on. Yeah, you can put
Yeah.
more layers on. Yeah. Um. So, do we want to talk about like what we do to help ourselves in winter a little
That's
bit?
probably a good way to go. I mean, I've got a couple of things that, in general, that's meant to help
Mm-hmm.
with this.
Go for it.
So a big reason why we start to feel like this is more to do. There's lots of different reasons. It's we don't get as much daylight. A big
Mm-hmm.
part of it comes down to the daylight aspect of things. Um, Essentially, what it does is that when you're outside, you in the sun, you absorb vitamin D,
Mm-hmm.
and vitamin D is meant to help out quite a lot.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure even like the British government and or health organization or whatever, they put on advertisements to tell people to take vitamin D
Mm-hmm.
through the winter just because there's that much lack of daylight, and that's
Mm.
a really big thing that tends to help
Yeah.
people out.
Their days are even shorter, you know,
Mm.
like in winter here at worst it's getting dark just before 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the UK, some parts of it 4 o'clock, even 3 o'clock if you're going to Ireland and you're getting kind of higher up north.
And imagine being in like Antarctica.
Yeah, I
Got
would.
the
I
poles.
can do it. I can do it. I don't even think I could do.
40 days, right? 40 days of no sun, 40 days of night.
I don't even think I could do the UK with how short their days are in winter,
Mm.
to be honest, let alone, you know, that. But yeah, 100%. And I think we all kind of know that, right? Like you have a few days where you're not feeling amazing and you're kind of feeling a bit eh. And then you have like one of those glorious days where the sky is blue and the sun is out and everything feels right in the world because it's nice to see the sun.
Mm. Oh, do you know a little fun fact about vitamin D?
What?
Why do you laugh like that? Did you know that Europeans are evolved to get vitamin D through dairy products? So through cheese and milk.
I think I did know that.
Yeah, and the reason behind that is just because evolutionary, there's not as much sun there.
Not
So
getting as much sun.
so they need another supplement.
I'm going to throw another fact at you then.
Oh, okay, this way around. Go for it.
People of color, so the darker skinned you are, the harder it is for you to absorb vitamin D.
Mm.
So
Makes
someone,
sense.
yeah. So if you're darker skin, you're actually at higher risk of being vitamin D deficient, and potentially suffering from seasonal depression a little bit more, or winter blues a little bit more. Which I remember when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's actually quite interesting. Which maybe again on evolutionary basis does make sense because generally, you know, from the Middle East, closer to the equator, so not losing quite as much daylight as much as, you know, the rest of the world.
Another fun thing you can do. Well, it's more a fun little fact. I don't know why I'm saying fun little fact.
I was gonna say, I feel like we're like this episode that the last two we were like
very serious.
Very serious.
Yeah.
We went through hard times, and this one's like Fun fact, fun fact, fun fact. Like, I feel like we're like one of those science shows.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Mm,
we're actually doing what it says. What
yeah,
next?
yeah. True, true. We
Um,
moaned about it for 7 minutes, and now we're talking about how we help ourselves.
yeah, yeah. So over in, it's the UK
Mm-hmm.
and America, everywhere that has a white Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
essentially,
Yep.
um, is actually quite beneficial for them.
Mm,
Because they've got Christmas, they've got a lot of endorphins. They're still getting out of the house. We
mm,
alluded to this before.
yeah.
But they also do things to help counteract through this time period.
Yeah.
They have all the Christmas lights. So over in America and all that, decking the halls is a massive thing.
Yeah.
Putting up all the
100%.
lights and all that. You can drive around. Like they get really into the festive spirit, and that
Mm,
tends to help because you're getting out of your house. You're going
mm.
around looking around at night. You've got other things to.
And when it's dark so early, it's quite nice to have all those lights.
Exactly. So it's something
Mm.
to do. It's a bit of an endorphin release. We're here, unfortunately, we've
Got
got
nothing.
nothing
Yeah. I
off
mean, a
of
few
that.
places do kind of midwinter Christmas sort of activities and events on. I think that is slowly becoming more of a thing, but yeah, not obviously like the Northern Hemisphere.
Hmm.
And then the other thing is that like there's more social gatherings around the holidays.
Yeah.
So again, it forces you outside of your house. There's gift giving. Yeah, like we kind of already chatted about this a little bit already, but there's definitely more things going on which forces you outside of your house because I feel like the instinct in winter is to hibernate.
Hmm.
But of course we can't hibernate because we got bills to pay.
I just hibernate all year round. Summer it's too hot. Winter it's too cold. I feel
No.
like if I just stayed in bed all
Spring is the pollen.
yeah, I just get hay fever.
Mm,
I just start sneezing all the time.
mm,
But I mean, like in all seriousness, I mean, the whole thing about being a
mm,
festive year, that has one, two, three of the things
mm.
that you're meant to do if you're feeling
Mm-hmm.
low.
Yeah, social connection, getting out,
Family,
family, 100%.
depends.
Yeah, yeah. I guess depends on your family, eh? Um, I also really find I remember this conversation that I had with my dad, where he said to me, "Why don't you go outside every day?" And I said to him, I was like, "I can't go outside every day. Like, again, we're under the pump in my job. I mean, it's just anyone who works in healthcare will understand. Sometimes you don't have a lot of time during lunch, barely enough time to eat, let alone go
Mm,
outside."
yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean? I can't just go outside." And he's like, "Yes, you can. You can go outside for a couple of minutes every single day." And since I had that conversation with him 2 or 3 years ago, it's become a commitment. So even if I literally go outside and do a 30-second, 1 minute walk,
Yep.
or if I go outside and I just look up at the sky and I go, yep, there's the sky, and I come back inside, I go outside every single day at
Mm,
work. And it's especially important in winter. I mean, I do it at all seasons, but in winter, when again the days are so short, it's so essential. And ideally, what I actually try and do is go for like a 5-10 minute
yeah.
walk around the block. So it's become more or less a non negotiable for me. And I feel that helps a lot.
And that's something that actually they recommend to do as well. Get into habits.
Mm,
Go for a walk.
yeah,
Just
spend time outside.
outside. Now,
Especially when the weather's nice.
yeah. Now I just want to go back to that vitamin D thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, and you told me this. So you have to have certain parts of your body exposed
Mm,
to get vitamin D.
your face and your arms.
Forearms or upper arms?
I actually don't know.
One of the two.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I thought you told me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
so
tell you a lot of things.
yeah. But yeah, so I mean that's an interesting little fact as well, which you don't really want to do in winter, do you?
No, which again contributes to the making it harder to get your vitamin D
Mm.
intake, right?
Sorry, I'm gonna stop bringing up vitamin D. It seems like I've just been bringing it up all the time. So
Well, actually, I will say one other thing
oh,
about
okay,
vitamin
there we
D
go.
before we move on from vitamin D. I have supplemented this year for vitamin D, and I did it for some of last
Yeah,
winter as well. And I do think it's made a tangible difference to how I feel. Of course, we're not medical professionals, and even if we were, we can't give random.
you are
Well, yes, I know, but I'm not a doctor. I'm an optometrist, so
still a doctor in some form of the way.
yeah, but
Not just in the field that we're talking about.
not my specialty.
Yeah,
It's not my area of expertise. And of course, even if it was my area of expertise, you can't like give specific advice to
yeah,
people.
no,
People need to seek their own medical advice. That's how you would get sued in America. But and I actually am planning on having a talk with my nurse practitioner about it. I've got an appointment soon. But I have found that it helps. I mean, it's anecdotal evidence. It's just based on me. But if you curious, like if you also get winter blues and you find that winter is hard for you, have a chat to your GP, have a chat to your nurse practitioner, to your doctor, a dietitian if you have access to one, and see what they think of you supplementing. And if they think it's fine, then it's worth trying. I just get these like dissolvable ones and I put it under my tongue. And I have one more or less every day, 5 days a week.
Has to be the dissolvable ones, eh?
Yeah, because I can't swallow pills.
I know.
I'm a baby. Unless they're like sugar coated, the film coated, yeah, those ones. Well, I can swallow them if they're not, but I don't like to. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. If you want to form a habit, you have to reduce the barriers and you have to make it easy for yourself. And what I do is I have it in my handbag, and when I come back from my lunchtime walk, I put drops in my eyes because my eyes are dry, which is a whole nother thing. And I take one of my vitamin D.
Maybe we could do an episode on how to survive office life.
Yeah, dry eye.
Yeah.
Fun times. But yeah, it's worth investigating. I mean, there's no harm in having that conversation. And I mean, I don't know, again, a huge amount about vitamin D, but from what I understand, like, I think you can over supplement on it. It was one of the ones, because I think it goes to your fat. I can't remember. Anyway, but like, I think you can overdo it.
I can find out for you.
Yeah, you can overdo it, but it's worth having that conversation because, if it helps, it helps. And it could be placebo, but for me, I don't care if it's placebo because, again, if it helps, it helps.
Yeah, so supplementing like over a long period of time too much can apparently lead to hypercalcemia, which apparently can weaken the bones and damage the kidneys and the heart.
Yeah, yep. So definitely worth having a conversation first, and making sure that you aren't in a category where it's contraindicated or you shouldn't. And I should clarify, I only do it in winter as well. I don't do it in summer. It's for a very specific time of the year, and it's because of my job and because I'm not very dark skinned, but I am slightly more pigmented than Matt, for example. And
just give me all the cheese.
Yeah, and the darker you are, the harder it is for you to absorb vitamin D. So that's the main reason I do it over winter. But it's worth trying.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, definitely would help out.
Yeah. Now we said we'd stop talking about vitamin D.
Yes.
Do you have anything else that you do or you think is good?
Yeah, going to the gym.
Yeah, definitely. Physical movement, I was going to say that. Yeah.
Getting out, going to the gym. I mean, even today, I haven't been for a few weeks now. I think, I actually, no, that's a lie. I went Sunday. But like before that, I was sick. Then I had the week after I had my tooth extracted.
Wisdom tooth, yeah.
Yep. And then recording this, I somehow put my back out in the last episode. So don't ask me how that happened. So yeah, no, I'm only just getting back to it, and like, I feel real good.
Yeah.
Straight off the bat.
100%. It's an endorphin boost. We actually changed gyms leading up into winter because, again, this is the whole thing with habit formation, is you want to make it as easy as possible to go through with your habit. So we used to be signed up to a gym that would close at like 6 or 7 o'clock on a Friday, Saturday night. And it also wasn't a 24-hour gym, obviously, but that also means it didn't open some days like public holidays. And then it was like, this is going to sound ridiculous, especially to people who live in big cities, but it was like a 5-minute drive from work.
Small country life.
Yeah, like when you're used to things being close.
Gosh, yeah, like, it's first world problems.
But again, like, removing barriers is so important if you actually want to go through with something, right? And what we did was 2 doors down from where I work, there's a gym. And we went in and we had a chat and we signed up. And it's a 24-hour gym, so we can go anytime.
Can I just sidebar that? Even though Yaz said that we wouldn't sign up on the day.
Yeah.
We still did.
Well, she gave us a good deal.
Yeah.
She gave us a good deal. She actually did. But yeah, we signed up, and my goal this winter has been to go to the gym 3 times a week. Like, it doesn't have to be a long workout. It doesn't have to be a strenuous workout. It just has to be go to the gym, move some weights around, move my body, get the endorphins going, and then come home and just plop out and chill out in front of the couch. And we have actually been pretty good at doing it. I mean, we have had a few speed bumps, especially you with your wisdom tooth and your back and getting sick. But, like, we have been way more consistent than we were in the other gym.
Yeah.
And I definitely find it's helping me feel better mentally.
Can I just say, even if you go to the gym, you don't need to go real hard.
Mm,
Like I just went on Sunday. My back was still a bit sore. More my hips really, my back,
mm,
my hips. And I just did like leg press without any weights.
mm. Yep,
Just lowered all the weights and just focused more on mobility and getting the movement. Like it
100%.
doesn't need to be anything super strenuous.
Sometimes I go to the gym and just stretch.
Mm,
And it feels good
mm.
and it's nice. And like, I mean, we could totally do a whole episode about this and about like the fitness industry and like, the culture, but like, I hate that all or nothing mindset because, yeah, like today we went and we did half an hour
Mm.
and it was good. And we came home and we're chilling.
Also pro to the gym. It has air conditioning. It's
Yeah.
warm.
Yeah. Yeah, makes a big difference. Makes such a big difference. And what I do is I take my my gym clothes to work. So I get changed at work and I go straight after. I do make sure I have extra snacks that day because it's not nice when you're hungry. It's not. Being hungry is not nice. It's not a nice feeling. So, again, like removing barriers that could potentially make it hard.
I kind of also want to say that
Yeah.
generally over winter, this is probably another reason why people do get a bit sad and a bit depressed. I mean, over winter you do tend to gain a bit of weight.
Mm,
You
yeah.
just eat a bit more. There's not as much to do. Like you're not out and about as much. I know that I'm one. If I get
Mm,
bored, I just like to snack,
mm-hmm,
and that's probably a good reason
mm-hmm,
that people do start to feel a bit ugh about themselves as well.
mm-hmm. Although, I'm going to play devil's advocate here a little bit. You know what I'm going to say.
What? Just don't eat?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, the opposite. I'm saying maybe we just need to ignore societal standards and pressures that tell us that thinness equals happiness, right?
Oh yeah, I know,
Maybe
but
we need to
it's still hard on you though.
yeah, but we need to investigate and reflect on that. Because speaking from experience, as someone who was very thin at one point in my life, being thin doesn't make you happy despite what society tells you. So, yeah, I do agree. I think like we move less, we eat more comfort food, and again, it's that hibernation
Mm.
instinct because it's cold, and probably not all of those things are helping us to feel good. But I think, like the weight gain, like in my head, I'm like, is it the weight gain that's making you feel bad, or is it just again society telling you
Yeah,
you
but
need to be
you're
a
a
size
special
zero?
case. You're a special case.
Yeah, because yeah,
You're a special case. Not everyone's at body neutrality.
took a decade to get there, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, took a decade for me to have the mindset I have about my body, where I'm just like, you know what, it exists as it is, and I'm not going to be mad about it, whether I gain weight or lose weight, whatever.
Hmm.
But yeah,
I'm going to push us along because
no, we're not.
we're not on that topic.
No, we're not.
So, what have we covered? We've covered movement,
Mm-hmm.
vitamin D, the
Yeah,
magic vitamin D.
lots. But I'll talk to your doctor first,
Yeah.
also.
You could probably also actually take some vitamin C in that because I know,
Mm,
like I said, I've injured myself in that this winter.
mm,
I know at the moment there's a lot of sickness going around
yep,
as well, so
yep.
probably just general supplementation is probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Just like some vitamin C. Try to keep yourself
Hydrated.
hydrated, eating healthy foods.
Your vegetables.
That'll probably help you as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Getting the flu vaccine so you don't get sick because getting sick sucks.
yeah.
Especially if you are very public facing like me. The first year I was an optometrist, I didn't get the flu vaccine. I got sick so many times. I'm a baby when I'm sick. I hated it.
Can confirm.
Yeah. And yeah, I make an effort to get the flu vaccine now, even if I'm paying for it myself, which I have been the last few years, because I feel so much better when I'm not sick, obviously. I
Yeah.
mean, feeling sick isn't a nice feeling.
Yeah.
So if you have access to it, it's not a bad thing to
Mm.
consider getting the flu vaccine.
And then the other thing that we need to talk about is just keeping up with your social connections.
Yeah.
So keeping up with your family, your friends,
Mhm.
your support network.
Mm,
That's always a big one, no matter what way you're feeling about this kind of stuff.
100%.
I mean, I know it's pretty, it's easy to slip into habits where you don't
Yeah.
reach out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been pretty bad this week. I
Mm,
normally talk to my friends a lot, and I haven't really talked to them at all this week.
mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I'm generally quite happy just to do that, but I know You always say, I'm happier when I talk to them.
Yeah, you're definitely happier when you talk to your friends. No doubt about it. Yeah.
Mm.
And I would second that. I think, reaching out and that social connection is really important. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you're introverted and you're an introvert,
Yeah.
and even still, you really benefit from that social connection. I mean, we all do. We're social creatures.
Yeah.
Humans are social creatures. Probably the last thing that I would want to say, and then I feel like I've kind of said everything, is back to the Northern Hemisphere. They have
No hate.
they have winter sports,
True.
right? Ice
Well, I mean, we do
skating,
here too.
yeah, but not at the same level because we don't get the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like ice skating, ice skating, sledding, skiing,
Northern Hemisphere, you
snowboarding.
guys can apparently control snow. Apparently, that's a sport now.
Yeah, you can make it snow. But like, yeah, if
We
you
have
think,
skiing,
yeah, I know,
but
but
it's
like
so hard to get to.
not everywhere. There's only
Mm.
like 2 ski fields in New Zealand, and they're
What?
so
I'm
expensive.
29 and I've never done it.
Yeah, I've done it once. I was very bad at it. It's definitely in New Zealand. I feel like it's something that people with money, to be honest, if I'm going to be blunt, it's generally people who have a little bit more cash. They're the ones who do things like that because it's so expensive to
Yeah.
do those things. But I think it's like the physical movement again. It's going back to that, like in the
And you do it with other people as well.
yeah,
So it's
social
like
connection. Yeah,
you're out in the sun, although you haven't got the coverage, but you're still out in the sun. The sun just
yeah,
makes,
and
does
like
wonders.
ice hockey is very popular in the US and in Canada.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive. But like against like sport, like social connection, movement, endorphins. So I think that's like kind of re-emphasizes what we were saying about that physical movement and how it's so important. And to be fair, that's probably how countries that are, like Canada and the US and stuff that have very short days, how they manage their very long winters.
So everyone, what I'm taking away from this is that we need to move to Canada or America.
Canada.
All right. That was very blunt, very quick.
We
know.
we won't start politics
No.
on this channel, on this podcast, but yeah, not America.
No.
But even Canada, I don't know if I could handle minus 40 degrees.
Yeah,
My God.
that's pretty rough. Eh?
Mm.
So, all right, takeaways. Takeaways. What to do when you're feeling like you've got seasonal depression or what?
You're tipping.
No, that's all right. Seasonal depression or you got the winter blues.
Mhm.
So what are we gonna do?
You're going to reach out for social connection.
Yep.
You're going to consider vitamin D after chatting to your doctor about it.
And other supplements to help with sickness.
Yeah, vitamin C. Consider your flu vaccine. Did I say social connection already?
Yes,
I
yeah,
did,
yep.
Yep. And exercise.
Yep.
Oh, and getting outside.
Yep.
Getting outside.
And just forming general habits, so keeping up with those
with your good habits.
good habits, yeah.
100%.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, that's really most of all that we can really talk about with this one.
Yeah.
It's a like I said, 10 to 20% in adults, quite a
That's
large
quite high.
amount.
Yeah.
I wonder if that also considers people who are already like depressed,
Yeah.
or if that's no, it probably doesn't actually. It'd
No,
probably be
it probably
people who
doesn't.
are,
And you know what? I bet you it's actually higher than that because I feel like every winter I talk to people who are like, yeah, I'm so over winter.
So yeah, no, keep on powering through it, people. I mean, really, it's 3 months in the year.
Nothing lasts forever.
No.
Which is both good and bad.
And then in 6 months' time, I'll be complaining about the heat.
Yeah, maybe we'll need to do an episode about
Yeah, I don't even know how to
summer.
cover that one, to be fair. Oh, can I just also say, winter bills, they suck.
Yeah. You got to prepare for it.
Everything's so much more expensive.
You got to prepare for them. Yeah. Put more in the power account during summer so that you have a cushion in winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I guess we do the gratitudes.
Yes. Do you want to go first?
Oh, I enjoyed my lunch today.
Yum. You had rice and chicken, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did I do today? I enjoyed the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed my sauna after the gym. There you go. There's my 3.
Nice. I was at work today and I didn't get out till 5:20, so yeah, that was a bit tough. I did have some nice patients today, so that's always good. It always makes a difference when you have nice patients. And I really enjoyed the gym too, and I had a mandarin, which was really yummy.
I mean, I guess it is the small things in life, right?
100%. Cheesy, but correct.
So thank you everyone for listening.
Mhm.
If you have any comments, any advice, any topics you want us to cover, just leave it in the comments.
Mhm.
Stop laughing at me. I know I'm tapping the table. I
I was
can't
like
help myself.
tapping the table.
And yeah, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Keep on powering through.